It's the actual feeling of the whole thing, my gorgeous Capricornians, most certainly when it comes to you and when it comes to the actual April 2020. I do have to say indeed that the 1st, 2nd and the actual 3rd of April are going to be very important when it comes to your particular situation, my gorgeous Capricornians, because it's a lot about you, it's a lot about your personal growth, and it's a lot about you kind of finding out things, about yourself, and finding out things that are really important as well, that are happening around you, and the real essence about it, and the actual real essence that it's going to come from it. It's going to be very important when it comes to your own personal reflection, because there is a lot, my gorgeous Capricornius, that you're actually going to find out and I should say probably realize over these 3 first days in April. It is going to be important, but on one hand you may be surprised a little bit, but then on another hand you are going to open your eyes, and it is going to give you the optimism, and that optimism is going to be the main driving force, and it's going to feel important to you because you will see how certain things have been affecting you, and in particular over the past few months, things have been happening, things have been going on, and you have been affected by it quite a lot, my gorgeous Capricornians. I will say why. It's because you're very deep, you're very powerful, you're very spiritual. Every sign is a spiritual in their own way, but you're very spiritual. I told you this before. It's because you are born at the darkest time of the year, the darkest part of the year. Now this is an important energy in itself that allows you to expand yourself, expand your subconsciousness in a slightly different way to the other signs, which means that you get affected by things without you even actually realizing. This is nothing bad. This is actually really good, and it's a very special and it's a very powerful quality, because the same energy you can use for other things. You can actually use in order to project it the way you want to project it, as long as you are having like an absolutely perfect balance within yourself. You can use exactly the same energy to achieve things, so that doesn't matter. But the bottom line is that this wonderful energy just allows you to think and to expand your mind, and the bottom line is that the 1st, 2nd and the 3rd of April are going to be very important indeed, my gorgeous Capricornians, because this is going to be such an important stepping point for you, and you will see how much you were actually affected. And when I say this, the power of your thinking, the power of your mind, the way you think and the way you plan for the future has been indeed affected. So these 3 days are going to be very important when it comes to your rejuvenation, your own realization, your own, the time when you will be able to use your own reflection to your own abilities. And most certainly it is going to be an important moment in time, because out of that realization, this is going to bring a really nice burst of optimism at the same time. And it's all going to be quite a lot about you, about your home, and about the certain change that you are going to be making, certain change that you will want to do, certain change that you're going to make, you will want to start. And it's so much so to do with a certain big change and the certain things that you wanted to change at home, that you wanted to do at home, that you wanted to start around you, but you were just kind of prevented to move on with these things in your life, and that affected your order. And this is what I said, that this is going to be important, because it's just basically it's something that you wanted to do, and it's to do with a certain wish, it's to do with a certain planning, and it's also to do with a certain time of your life when it caused like a dissatisfaction. So that's why you wanted to make a certain changes when it comes to that. So this is also these 3 days, the 1st, 2nd and the 3rd of April are also going to be so important, not only when it comes to your own spiritual awakening, not only when it comes to the return of the balance that I'm talking about. It's about the optimism, and it's about the power, and it's about sensing things, and it's about feeling things, like going really beyond, really behind, and just getting that sense of realization that you didn't have before. And that is going to become your driving force. That is going to become your driving power, because you're so powerful, you're so deep, you're so spiritual. You were affected by things that were happening around you. So now at the same time, there is going to be like a little bounce back, which is going to be such a nice rebound, and you are going to have such a nice sense of unfoldment, and this is going to become your driving force, and you're just going to go along with it. And so the passion that was like kind of like not there for a little while because it was affected by things that were happening, now it's going going to return within the first 3 days in such a form when you will want to start thinking like suddenly what you want to do, what you want to change. And this is nothing unusual. This is purely coming from your own power, from your own strength, because at the same time you are going to get the focus back. These 3 days will be sacred when it comes to your own personal focus, my gorgeous Capricornians. Indeed, it's all about this personal focus that it's at the same time going to enhance your radiance. It's brilliant because it's going to help you with the resolution. Pam, pam, pam. This is what is going to boil down to these 3 days. It's about the resolution that you are going to have. And that resolution is also going to be so important because it's going to start acting like a domino, and the resolution that you are going to have, it was the problem that was preventing you maybe to kind of be around people, that was maybe preventing you to move on in a certain ways, that was preventing your activity with the people and things like that. So this is going to be quite important because at the same time you will make an important decision and it is going to be rather wise a moment in time. You're going to reach a very deep levels of your subconsciousness, and that in itself is going to be so important because it's going to help you to make a certain judgment, and you're going to have a certain strength and a certain power, and the serene knowledge is going to come from the penetration from deep within, from your own spirituality. It's very important because on another hand, you know, there is a certain hidden emotion, something that you're not doing but you should be doing, and it's going to be most certainly obvious by the day number 3 indeed. But on another hand, it's just about the learning process that you are going to have at the same time. Just remember, it's about the hidden emotion, something that you should be doing, and it's so important to do this because this is the next stage of your spiritual journey, next step of your spiritual journey. You will not, at the same time, it's about your own practicality, but also you need to be a bit of analytical here. Very important, Capricornians, indeed. But on another hand, it's all about the time when you felt like a frequently too restrained, so you are going to change quite a few things at the same time. Also, one more thing that I'm going to say that it's going to happen, a couple of more things, is going to be the realization that the new start is coming, and it's just coming from the certain fear, it's just coming from the certain uncertainty. And this affected you big time. This is just part of the picture. So the bottom line is the new start is coming. The change is coming. The time of unfoldment is going to become quite evident and quite obvious at right this moment in time, because this is going to have a very good impact when it comes to your own security, power, and most certainly because you're just going to come to terms with a certain problem, certain difficulties that was causing a problematic time of your life within the last 11 months. But most certainly this is going to be quite a wonderful conclusion that you are going to have very inspiring moment in time. You're going to get inspired by the particular situation here at the same time, and it's going to just become a really nice and artistic moment in time for you, because it is just all about you kind of like trying not to get distracted, because there are going to be quite a few distractions that are going to be happening at around the same time with you, my gorgeous Capricornians, throughout April. So it's very important to just, I know I said it before, but this month seems to be just as significant to just remember to stay committed to the task at hand, because when you're going through such a deep and powerful processes, you know, at the same time when you're rediscovering yourself and confirming things at the same time, you just have to remember that you are going to be challenged, and your challenges are going to be throughout the months where you're going to be doing things, and emotionally you're going to need to respond to one thing, emotionally you're going to need to respond to another thing, and emotionally you're going to need to respond to the third thing. You just need to remember this is the time of testes, and it's important to just basically what I said before is stay committed to the task at hand. You can respond to the problems, you can respond to the negativities, but you must not let these emotions and these feelings to bring you down and to prevent you from being who you are, from doing what you want, and from reaching where you want to reach. Just ignore. Deal with the things and problems and issues that you have to, but at the same time you also have to have a mental and spiritual block, and just ignore it and keep going, my babies. Keep going as much as you can, because this is going to be incredible. As more challenges you have, again, the more room to grow you're also going to provide for yourself, and the more opportunities you are going to have after that moment in time. So this is also very, very important indeed. Okay, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Capricornius, and it's for April 2020. So it's for you, my gorgeous Capricornius, and it's for April 2020. And of course, your number this month is number 711. That's 711, which means at the same time you're reaching a very important stage when it comes to your own spirituality, but also you're reaching a very important stage when it comes to you being very sensitive to certain things around you and you being affected by them a little bit too much. 7, it's very important to let you know that you are very much so protected, and it's letting you know that the things are going to be okay. But at the same time, number 11 is letting you know that you are going to have a rather wonderful surprise, and that surprise is going to come, it's going to unfold, it's going to begin, it's going to start with a really wonderful achievement that you are going to have, but it's going to come through a form of some kind of surprise. That surprise in itself is going to get you thinking, and most certainly it's going to become the beginning of a rather wonderful and beautiful and quite a nice adventure. It looks like that subconsciously you were kind of like bringing yourself down and putting certain blockages and barriers around you, my gorgeous Capricornius, but most certainly this is not going to be it. You need to stay true to yourself, and you need to basically just keep going, and any single distraction that you have, as I said, just remember, you just go, and do not let any distraction to take your energy. Do not let any distraction to change your way of thinking. Do not let any distraction to change your mind, because it's going to be very important to stay true to yourself, because it's all about the power within you. It's all about your own essence, that it's going to become very bright, and it's going to shine rather brightly later on. But this month is most certainly going to be very important, because you are going to be under all sorts of tests. Number 711, it also means, it's important because it's a surprise that something is going to be positive that was meant to be negative. Positive journey, instead of some kind of like a barriers that you may have been placed around you. But this is not your problem. This is not your fault. It was done by the society and the things that are going on around you. So this is very important, Capricornius, indeed. It is the beginning of something very special when it comes to realization, and then that is going to lead towards some kind of a very important enthusiasm at the same time when it comes to the actual whole new initiative. And this initiative is going to be very important because you're going to realize something about yourself. You're going to learn something about yourself, and that is going to make you realize bright prospects that you wouldn't realize before. Rather important indeed, but most certainly it's significant to say because it's to do with unlimited possibilities, but at the same time doing something very special and very important for yourself, something that is going to last a long time, but you're also securing something rather vavarumish when it comes to the people in your life, people that are dear to you, people that you really love, your family members and things like that. This is all going to make sense, like there is no tomorrow, my gorgeous Capricornius. It looks like you will kind of rediscover some kind of happiness that was like a kind of around you, but you weren't maybe using it, or you weren't noticing it. So it's important. On another hand, also somebody who's very faithful and somebody who's very loyal and somebody who's very important person in your life, it's also going to be quite connected to the certain situation that it's going to arise as well around some kind of news that you are going to have. At around the time that you are going to have an important news, it's going to be also kind of something that's going to be unfolding with somebody very loyal and very important in your life, because that person is going to confirm something for you as well at the same time. But it's to do with an important news that you are going to have, and that news that you are going to have, it's going to be so significant because it's going to confirm something to you like full on, big time indeed. But on another hand, it's about the important news, time to move on, time to just go for it, time to don't think about negativity, don't think about worries and things like that. It's going to be absolutely fine, but most certainly it's to do with an investment, and this is going to lead you towards the realization that the step in the right direction you are about to make, and that is going to bring you such a beautiful possibilities that you wouldn't normally have. have. But also at the same time, this is an important time of rebirth and of your own invocation, because at the same time this will become quite important wake-up call, because it's just going to be connected to the kind of swift change that you wouldn't normally have. On another hand, you're also going to have an important moment here, because what you have been patient for, now the harmony is bringing that in, and it's going to make you realize that you're on the right track, you're on the right journey, but you just need to kind of make a certain little adjustment. Little adjustments are going to be very much so required from you to do certain management, but most certainly at around the right moment in time, there is going to be the influence for somebody very special and very powerful person in your life. It's going to confirm something to you, but also successful combination is going to make sense here, like so much so, like, oh wow. It's important to mention as well that this month is going to be quite significant when it comes to your own omen that you are going to have. This is going to be in the form of a little bird again, a little bird, and it's something to do with a flight, and it's something to do with some being unusual, but also it's just like the connection that you are going to have at the same time, the way things are going to unfold and the way things are going to happen. When you see that little bird, you will know again that this is the time when you are going to have again your omen. This is an important moment in time of promise, because at the same time you will know that you are about to reach for something very, very special, very important. But also at the same time, when you see that omen, you will know that the difficult situation in your life, the difficult situation is slowly going to come to an end, and it's going to have such a nice flip-flop moment, and it's going to provide you with an opportunity instead of the negativity and sadness. This is important because the difficult situation is coming to an end, in particular in the last 2 years. This is something that was really like kind of following you for 2 years, and it was just kind of preventing you to reach your full possibility. Can you say that? To reach your full possibility, but to reach your full potential. To reach your full potential. It's important because it's important to say. It's important because it's important to say. It's important to say that this time was just really causing difficulties, and also it affected your power in a sense of your planning and in a sense of like your confidence, because of this, believe me or not, because this is a difficult situation that was causing you and preventing you from launching new projects by making you worried and by making you concerned and by bringing yourself down when it comes to this particular energy, when it comes to this particular direction. So this is going to be a very important omen that you are going to have, because not only the new opportunity is starting, but also at the same time something negative is coming to an end. So karmically you will know, ooh la la, it's time to move on. This is a rather important moment in time when it comes to that particular direction. But that in itself is going to be important, because also you're going to reach a really wonderful levels of creativity. So whatever you do, whatever you set your mind to do, you're just going to expand your mind that much further. Whether you're like kind of like whether you're thinking, that's the energy, whether you're creating things around you, whether you're trying yourself in all sorts of situations, whether you're testing things, whether you're trying things, whatever you do, it is just going to make such an important and quiet, powerful waves of energy, which is going to travel much further than it would normally would. It's very, very important indeed. When it comes to health, my gorgeous Capricornius, pam 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 pam, Capricornius, dun 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 dun, Capricornius, dun 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 dun, Capricornius, pam 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 pam, Capricornius, pam 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 pam, Capricornius, dun 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 dun. When it comes to your health, it's going to be absolutely fine. What you just need to do, just make sure that you are taking organic acerola cherry powder. I was saying this for a long time, so make sure you're taking organic acerola cherry powder. It's a natural form of vitamin C, which is brilliant, and it's going to boost your immune system by increasing vitamin C levels. But don't get like vitamin C like a rubbish with synthetic vitamin C. Sadly, unfortunately, the way the world is, it's like you go to the health shop and instead of like getting like the best vitamin C, natural vitamin C, it's all filled with like chemicals and synthetic forms of vitamin C, but it's saying, oh yeah, it's natural and all that. So No, baby, no. So organic acerola cherry powder. Organic acerola cherry powder is a natural form of vitamin C. I need you to take it in the morning in a little glass of water, mix 1 little teaspoon and drink it. Then in the evening, before you go to sleep, a little glass of water, mix 1 teaspoon of organic acerola cherry powder and drink that before you go to sleep. Every single day, twice a day. This is going to provide you with a whooping vitamin C amount that you wouldn't normally get in food, because this is an absolutely beautiful how high in vitamin C this is. On another hand, vitamin D it's also going to boost your immune system, because vitamin C is obviously going to boost your immune system. Vitamin D is also going to boost your immune system, but and it's also going to be very beneficial for your bones at the same time. If you get vitamin D, make sure that you get a natural vitamin D, or eat certain food which has got a vitamin D in, like for example, organic free-range eggs have got vitamin D. But otherwise, if you can't get that, then just go for the natural dose of vitamin D, natural supplement. On another hand, the third thing that I would like you to take, it's called echinacea tincture. Echinacea has got the ability to boost the immune system by increasing the white cells count in the body. Echinacea tincture has been used for many years indeed, and echinacea tincture, I highly prefer tincture, because tincture will get into the bloodstream much sooner and much quicker than the actual tablets or capsules. But you can go for tablets or capsules, it's up to you. But echinacea tincture would be something very important to take for like about 6 weeks, okay? And then you have a 2 weeks break, then you take for 6 weeks, and then you take 2 weeks breaks, and then you have a slightly longer break. You don't take this for a long time, because it's a natural supplement, so your body would just get used to it after a while, so it wouldn't be as effective. But echinacea, it's absolutely remarkable, and it's wonderful, and it's very powerful in order to boost your immune system. I do know that you're going to be like a little bit prone to cold and flu, like a normal cold and flu, and that's why I'm just saying that this is something that you should be taking so you can basically protect yourself. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now, my gorgeous Capricornians, bam, 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 Capricornians, dun, 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 Capricornians, dun, dun, dun. It's going to be fine. Okay, so now basically the very first date that I would like to say to you, my gorgeous Capricornians, is going to be the 6th of April. Now, the 6th of April is going to be very important indeed, because it's all about, this is going to be an important time for you to deal with a certain outcome that will kind of surprise you, but it's going to be quite good, because it's going to provide you with a direction that you wouldn't normally have. And only like about a couple of months before that, you will be completely indecisive, like there is no tomorrow. So this moment in time, it's going to bring you strong reflection, and your reflection is going to provide you with a vision. Your vision is at the same time going to provide you with an important idea, and that idea, it's also going to become a starting point here. It's important to say, you know, this is the time of reflection, realization, idea, and the new direction. You know, it's important because it's becoming a very integral part of who you are, and your devotion at the same time, what you're devoted to. You know, it's something that makes you feel happy, and it's something that makes you feel secure, and something that makes you feel powerful. It's also at the same time going to take place here. It's good, you know, because it's connected to the time when you had like a little bit of like a tower moment, you know, and there was a certain sudden change that took place, and you had to abandon the certain certain direction, you know, you had to abandon perhaps certain people even, you know. So this is why, because you lost your stability because of like a kind of a certain situation that was connected to this, and now this is just going to have such a nice flip-flop moment, and it's going to in turn and work into your favor, because most certainly this is going to reach an important time when it comes to accomplishment, you know, direction that you wouldn't normally have when it comes to safety and well-being. And also, you know, the starting stage of the 9 months, an important progress is going to start here, and it's going to take an additional 9 months, but it's important and it's brilliant, and most certainly spiritually this is going to be quite significant for you in many different ways indeed. The second important date, my gorgeous Capricornians, is going to be on the 16th of April. The 16th of April is going to bring you a little bastard, but you know, little bastard, you know, because it is just going to be like realization about the little snaky in a grassy, you know. But it's just almost about the certain dishonesty is going to become evident here, you know. But then again, it is just like about like a bad influence around you, and maybe like a little bit of negative person around you. It's just kind of going to be connected to the situation that you're not going to be completely happy with when it comes to the particular outcome. But the bottom line is that you're actually going to, this is going to work into your favor, because somebody is going to try to trick you into something, but you're going to come on top of that because you're going to wear a very powerful shoes, and you're going to be walking on this grass, and you know, if you didn't have a shoes, then this snaky would bite you badly, but because you've got the shoes, you know, you're going to step on the snake. No, you're going to just nicely avoid the snake, but at the same time you're going to learn a certain lesson, and that in itself is just going to bring a promise that you wouldn't normally have, because it is going to activate you from a slightly different angle. This in itself is going to make you feel quite harmonious, you know, and very inspirational when it comes to the actual new beginning, because you're going to realize the completion that you wouldn't normally realize through this situation. So it's important. This is the time of transformation, and I highly suggest you highly suggest you to get a Moldavite. Again, I recommended this to be you before, when we are going through our spiritual awakening, where we are learning lots of things, when we need something like to support us, you know, to guide us in the way, when we need something like to kind of help us to remember our dreams, when we need something to protect us, but at the same time it's good to help us to make the right decisions from the spiritual point of view. And also when it comes to conversation and understanding, it's very important, especially when we are talking to people who we don't like. Then that takes a certain amount of energy from us, and then we respond in a way that we wouldn't want to respond. So this is why Moldavite is absolutely remarkable. This comes with a sterling silver setting and a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel, but I highly suggest you to wear this, because you are going to have some important conversation throughout this month. Now, the 16th of April is going to bring you an important moment in time of transformation, because through this negativity, you are going to decide to clear away the old to make a way for the new. This is very important when it comes to Feng Shui and when it comes to your own personal energy. This is going to make you realize, ooh la la, swift activity, sudden progress and movement that you wouldn't normally have, because you're going to make some kind of decision out of this, and then at the same time you're going to receive a certain message, and that message is also going to become at the right moment in time, because it's going to make you realize somebody's narrow-mindedness and maybe a bit of a maliciousness, and that is just going to be like, ooh la la, fantastic, brilliant, just at the right moment, at the right time, you know, escape towards the right direction, and escape from some kind of situation that could have become like a little bit dangerous, you know, otherwise. So it's a nice little redirection that you're actually going to have here. The third important date, my gorgeous Capricornians, it's going to be on the 28th of April. Now, the 28th of April is actually going to bring a new plan. Important to say that this new plan is to do with a wish, something that you were kind of wanting to do before, in a sense of attempting. You already attempted this, so now this shall return to you as a kind of like a new plan, new wish, but it's to do with also like an unfinished business from the past. It's wonderful, because it's just most certainly going to be a significant time of progress, in particular when it comes to the actual motivation behind someone very successful. The right person at the right time is going to motivate you for here. Perhaps you're going to lose a little bit of like a passion, or maybe there is not going to be enough energy because of some kind of like a maybe uncertainty, but most certainly at the right moment, at the right time, someone very successful is actually going to motivate you. It's beautiful, because that motivation is also going to help you to make a decision, and you will know that this decision is going to require changes and adjustments, but it's going to be very mature decision from you as well, because you're reaching a very powerful stage of your life, Capricornians, and you are getting control over situations, strength and courage here. Absolutely fantastic moment in time when it comes to energy, determination, confidence and the accomplishment. You're going to hear about a certain accomplishment, and that is going to rejuvenate you even more, my gorgeous Capricornians, even more. Fantastic. Okay, so now basically, I'm just going to see what is going to happen at the beginning of the actual April. Also, what I would like to suggest you is to get like a labradorite crystal, labradorite stone. Absolutely beautiful, very powerful. You are going to reach very deep levels of your subconscious mind. So at the same time, that can make waters a little bit murkier in a sense of like understanding, what exactly is happening. So in order to understand as much as possible, this helps you a lot with your own angels, guardian angels and your spirit guides, and also it helps you to remember those dreams that you don't normally remember. It's so important at this moment in time because this is all going to be connected to your own advancement and journey. So something will be revealed in particular that will be very important through your dreams, and it's to do with your heart. Okay, very, very particular indeed. I highly suggest you to get this crystal and just put it next to your bed, and just kind of like have it next to your bed, basically. If you would like to buy these crystals, the link is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel, my gorgeous Capricornians, as well. So now the very first part of April is going to be absolutely fantastic, but it is just going to kind of make you think, if in particular when it comes to some kind of like a forgiveness, some kind of forgiveness is going to take place, and it's going to be very important for you to forgive. Maybe somebody is just going to kind of return in your mind, and somebody may even return in your life, and it is just going to remind you of like a kind of like a negative or a bad situation. So just remember, it's important to forgive and forget. It's very important because this is a karmically powerful stage, so you don't want to get hold of these things, because if you do, and if you don't move on from that situation, it's going to provide you with a choice and option to move on, and if you don't, then you're not going to spiritually grow. So the end of the month is not going to be as active, for example, how this is actually going to be, because it's going to bring a different possibilities that you can connect to in a completely different way. Okay, so that's why this is so important. Anyone who drives you nuts or something like that at the beginning of the month, just make sure to forgive, in particular, especially if it's connected to the old karma. On another hand, this is going to be a very relevant moment in time when it comes to your own creativity, because believe me or not, this is going to start something within you. Most certainly it's going to kind of like bring a bit of a hermit moment, which is going to help you to have the highest levels of spiritual enlightenment. And because this is happening right in the first week of April, it's going to be very important, because you're going to be very, very powerful. You're going to feel very powerful when it comes to your analytics, when it comes to your planning, when it comes to your ideas. This is going to be so enhanced within you within the first week of April in particular. So you are going to come to terms with something, and that in itself, it's going to advance you, and it's going to help you to make a decision. In particular, what you were like indecisive about in the last 2 months, you're going to make an important decision, and also confirmation from someone very special, very beautiful, very important in your life. It's going to happen at the right time, and this is going to be absolutely everything for you, because you're going to free yourself, but you're also doing something absolutely mind-blowing for the rest of the people like around you, important. The second part of April, it's also going to bring the mid-April, it's going to bring you the realization about some kind of inheritance. And also, if you haven't got anybody to leave you an inheritance, you will know that you're gonna hear about some kind of money that is just gonna travel towards you, but then there are other people who are going to be connected to that money as well. It's gonna be so important, because the mid part of April is gonna be very motivational when it comes to you realizing how powerful you are, when it comes to you realizing the things that you put your attention to, that can be as bright, as shiny, brightest light in your life ever. And this is going to be all about your achievement, accomplishment, and realization. And that is just going to be a starting point, in particular when it comes to some kind of financial opportunity. There is going to be an important realization about financial opportunity. And you know how? Because something is not going to work out the way you wanted it, in particular when it comes to finances or financial opportunity, or you've been waiting for something and it's not going to happen, it's not going to take that turn yet. But this is brilliant, because that in itself, okay, it's going to make you feel like a little bit sad and a little bit negative, for a day or two. It doesn't really matter. You know what? It doesn't really matter, because you need to move on from this. So certain financial opportunity you're going to move away from, because that's not part of your spiritual journey. You grew over it. It's time for something else. It's time for something different. And as soon as you realize this, the quicker you're going to move on. And this is indeed going to bring you a little bit of disappointment, but then again, it's going to be a couple of days later, it's going to be followed by you having the brightest moment in your life, because you're going to realize the prospect. You're going to hear the certain news about a certain prospect. It's going to be absolutely evident with unlimited possibilities, and this is going to become the beautiful moment in time, the beautiful start, the beautiful beginning. It's going to bring you the beautiful option that you wouldn't normally have. Absolutely remarkable moment in time when it comes to the new beginning, enthusiasm, and absolutely beautiful initiative, and again with unlimited possibilities, which is going to help you to reach the peak of radiance through bringing you the balance that you didn't have in a long time. It's so important, because by the time you get to the last part of April, it's all about success through the actual unfinished business, not through the completely unfinished business, but it's to do with the things that you were planning before and you wanted to do before, and now they're going to merge and they're going to mix with things that you're doing now. So this is all going to bring you the peak of this activity, which is going to lead you towards this harmonious energy and towards the success that you wouldn't normally have, and also stability, which is going to allow you to realize that it's time to abandon the certain stage. The last part of April, it's all going to be about you making important decisions based on the new direction. So you are going to have an important moment of abandonment when it comes to your own synchronicity. It's important to follow your own self. Your own subconscious mind is not going to let you astray. So this is why it's so important to follow yourself, because you are going to reach the peak level of your own synchronicity by following the directions from your own spirit guides and your guardian angels. You're going to make an absolutely remarkable point here when it comes to your own future planning, when it comes to your own enterprise, and it is going to bring you towards the challenging situation. And that challenging situation in itself is going to be absolutely everything. This is why I say just go for it, go for it, go for it. Any challenging situation that you could have at the end of April, my gorgeous Capricornians, just go for it, and go for it, because your challenging situation is going to help you to grow, and it's also most certainly going to help you with a swift change, and it's going to help you to move on with things, it's going to help you to action on things, and that is going to reflect on you so beautifully, and it's so much so going to redirect you, bring you an opportunity at the end of April that you wouldn't normally have, but most certainly is to do with you, is to do with who you are. This is going to reach an absolutely remarkable starting point. The end of April is going to bring you a ridiculously powerful starting point, the realization, the understanding about yourself, what exactly you want to do, where exactly you want to go next. This is going to be big. This is going to be huge. Oh my lord. Okay, so now I'm just going to shuffle these cards, my gorgeous Capricornius. Pam 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 pam. Capricornius. Dun 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 dun. Capricornius. Capricornius. Right, so now I'm going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to see what is going to happen with those of you who are actually in relationship. An incredible moment in time, of course, you see. The star, you see this, I don't know how to put it, how you can see this, look at this. It's important because now you're reaching a very significant stage. Something is going to happen, something is going to take place this month. Things are going to change a little bit, but in a good way indeed. It's about a new life, it's about a new stage, it's about a new plan, it's about a new wish. It's just going to be so important because you're going to realize something quite significant, and that is going to be the main part of certain puzzle that was missing in order for you to make an important decision. You're both going to make an absolutely remarkable decision this month, but this is coming from someone really powerful. It's coming from the time when you're actually going to surprise yourself. The things are going to work out slightly different, and you are going to have a control over a situation, and that is going to give you a crystal clear view, and this in itself is going to change so much. An absolutely powerful moment in time when it comes to the bright prospects. Indeed. Okay, so now I'm just going to shuffle these cards and I'm going to see what is going to happen with those of you who are actually single and ready to mingy. You see this? It is just actually going to be more active months when it comes to those of you that are single and ready to mingy. The month is actually going to turn out to be a little bit different indeed. The month is going to surprise you in quite a few different ways. Things are not going to turn out the way you maybe think that they're going to actually turn out, but it's very important to say for those of you that are single and ready to mingy, something very significant is going to take stage. You know, it's not so much about, oh yeah, I'm going to find the love of my life and things like that. No, baby, no. It's about your wings, and it's about the time that you're going to realize that you are going to fly like an angel through your own success. It's so important because you are going to realize something quite super significant when it comes to the actual advantage. You know, you're going to find yourself on a rather advanced level indeed when it comes to your own personal victory, and when it comes to your own personal stability, and when it comes to some kind of wish. That particular wish is going to be the main essence of you meeting an absolutely mind-blowing person who's going to change your life. But this is going to happen one step at a time, my gorgeous Capricornians, most certainly. And it's all part of the big picture. It's very complex, but it's very beautiful and it's very powerful because you're going to rediscover something absolutely mind-blowing about yourself when it comes to your achievement in life, you know. But most certainly that wish that you are going to be able to go towards to, it's an important moment in your life indeed, coming from an advantage and success. This is going to be directly connected to the person who is about to walk into your life. Very important moment in your time, my gorgeous Capricornians. It sounds a little bit complicated at the moment, but most certainly it is not going to be complicated for too long. You will see exactly what I mean. Okay, my gorgeous Capricornians, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. Okay, I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing and light. Okay, my gorgeous Capricornians, I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Capricornius, pam 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 pam. Capricornius, dun 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 dun. Love you. Bye.